combining one horn horse, Unihorns. So this Unihorns, he is he's kind of dribbling. He's got some skills, and Jack can see that. But he knows with this extra couple of inches of vert that he's got going on, that he will beat this Unihorns. It's so hard to say. And once he does such, he'll be able to reclaim the kingdom for his dead mother / aunt or whatever. So then he does this. He's like, hey, I bet you can't beat me in a game of basketball, for lack of a better, or baseball. It's either basketball or baseball.
Or tennis.
Or tennis, right.
Or cribbage.
In a stretch, yes. In a stretch, it's cribbage.
If he was playing cribbage, since in cribbage you jump spaces and there is less gravity there, could Jack jump more spaces in cribbage?
Potentially.
Keep going with this. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay, so he says, alright, I'm going to play you in basketball, but what we're going to do is first decide who should have the ball first in a game of cribbage, which is standard practice, obviously. Anybody who's
in Denmark.
Anybody who's ever watched Denmarkian basketball knows a few of these things. Okay. And so where were we? How am I supposed to work with this? They were playing cribbage. Who knows the rules to that game, really? And, I mean, so they were both kind of cheating. They were making up rules as they went. He's like, oh, I can move 4 spaces, and then the Unihorns agreed. But then it was... So imagine this scale transferred onto a cribbage board. So then he's like, 4 spaces. Whoa! I used enough momentum for 4 spaces in Denmark, but in where are we? McFlurry World, it's actually 6. The translating factor is a 6-to-1 ratio. So what is that? 3-to-2. 3-to-2 ratio. No, wait. I don't know what the exact ratio is. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's not important.
You'll write that in later. Someone can do the math.
Someone can do the math. Exactly. So then...
Google a calculator.
Google calculator. I'll
Got
use
it.
this. I have my calculator. And it's 2-to-3. It's a ratio.
Typical.
I got some burps. And so they're playing cribbage. He wins by 2 spaces. Coincidence? I think not. You know, the gravity is less because his cribbage moving hands are stronger due to the fact that he was raised in Denmark, where it is common knowledge that Denmarkian gravity is pretty much the same as Earth gravity. It's a little different for those of you purists out there. And so he's good. He just won cribbage, and the Unihorns is like, alright, fine. Game time. He does one of those, but it's with hooves, so it sounds more like that. It sounds a little bit like that.
Sounds like 2 laptops hitting each other.
Due to the lesser gravity and the weird air density, it sounds like 2 laptops rather than horse hooves.
It's like smacking 2 laptops together in a McFlurry.
Is what I'm getting at. That's
in Denmark.
In Denmark. Is everybody good? Does everybody know what it's like?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, so they threw the ball up, and obviously everybody knows the Unihorn starts with it. So he jumped up like this, and his horn caught the ball, and he did this. It flipped it back. So then he runs backwards, which is the opposite way of where you want to be going in basketball, and gets it. And Jack's kind of like blocking him. He's doing that thing. It's kind of like a dance almost. It's like this really awesome dance that they're doing, such as basketball in a McFlurry, in a ghost door person. Then this Unihorns, if you will, has the ball. He's dribbling. He has to kind of do this. It's really awkward. And then he rears up, and the ball is between his hooves. And then he just kind of does that, and then hits it with his horn, which sounds complicated, but he made it look really, really awesome. And then he scored a point. And obviously, the way they do basketball in Denmark, 1 point is worth 17. And...
Typical.
Yeah, it's typical. Everyone should know that. And so what they did then, they were playing to 21, which is standard all around the world for short games of basketball. Grudge matches, we call them. So, obviously, Jack's like, oh dang, Unihorns already has 17 points on me. I'm going to really need to step up my game. And then, because of the weird scoring system in wherever they are, we'll call it Flofton. Because of the weird scoring in Flofton, they have just weird scoring. Just bear with me. It's all coming in the stream. So they have the weird scoring, and Jack jumps over the horse and lands on its horn. So he's got like this swan kick. He's got the ball. He's doing that thing. And then he jumps off the Unihorns' horn. And he's like... jumps across and then hands it off to someone who we previously thought was an enemy. Really, it was the troll wizard man from earlier. And he knew that Jack was going to need help. And wizard's points are worth exactly 4 more points than the average man's points. So he was like draining it. So 21 points done right there because the wizard had scored it. Because that's how wizard's points work. They're magical, obviously. And so then that happens, and Jack's like, yes, I beat that snotty Unihorns. And the wizard's like, well, I only let you win and helped you because I'm going to kill you now. And
so the wizard, you thought at first he's an enemy, and then he's not an enemy, and then he is an enemy.
Essentially, yes. Unless you like being killed by your friends, in which case he's your friend. So, with that confusion set aside, I don't think I needed to explain that any further than I already have. That confusion set aside, he goes... I just touched your foot. That was weird. He goes and he's running. He's like running, and the wizard is chasing after him. And wizards, you'd think they'd be able to run fast because they're magical, but in fact they wear long dresses. Doesn't make much sense. Normally they just do their running with magic. They just wave their hands, wand, staff, unicorn at people, and they just, I don't know what happens to them. They turn into a rock, or a mud man, or a
police officer,
or a police officer, or a truffle, or a goose. And so Jack's like doing this thing. He's dodging as he runs, like this. and he feels that it's a good thing that his kid, by that I mean small goat roots, are in him somewhere, because suddenly he runs on all fours and is faster than you would have thought a small goat would have been.
Because of the lesser gravity.
Yeah, and also because of crossbreeding.
And because everyone knows that goats run faster in McFlurries.
Yes. Except it's not the same consistency as the McFlurry. Yeah.
But is it the same consistency as refried beans?
Similar, but not the same.
Okay.
So, he's running, and then he sees a way back into... Can someone take care of this?
Pussy Willow.
Stop your whining. Okay. There you go. That's good. Yeah.